Where do you think you're sending that scan?
Forgive the unorthodox introductions. Moro Visen, head of special operations for the Imperial Diplomatic Service. I need assistance plucking a thorn from the Empire's side. It should be a trivial task for a Sith, my lord, but I want the world to see your power.
What's the mission?
I was tasked with gathering allies on Nar Shaddaa. Hutt clans, corporations, gangsters. But one man has resisted our entreaties. Rukabi is the local leader of the Exchange, a galaxy-spanning criminal organization specializing in high-tech vice. Rukabi and the Exchange refuse to join us.
What does the Empire want from these gangsters?
The Exchange spends more money than most governments on spies, slicers, and scientists. Anyone they can't buy, they kidnap. They would have been valuable friends, but Rukabi drugs and tortures my messengers. We need to make an example of him.
Defiance is unacceptable. He should be dealt with.
I want his army decimated, his arms caches looted, his chemical refineries razed to the ground. I want a show of force so overwhelming that no one on Nar Shaddaa will ever deny the Empire again. If you would grant us this favor.
Tell me what you're offering.
The diplomatic service will compensate you fully for your time. In addition, the wealth of the Exchange is yours to claim. The Exchange operates out of the Corellian sector of the city. Your path of destruction begins there. When you're through crippling the operations, you can find me at my command post. I'll be watching the chaos from my chambers.
Oh, Destris, dear brutish Destris. And Riley, so beautiful and intelligent. You were like children to me, which is why it pains me to do this.
You can cut the act, Palladius. You never cared about any of your children.
We don't need a tyrant for a father.
Ah, well said. Marvelous last words. Truly, I expected nothing less, which is what makes this so hard. Now, if you'll excuse me, my other children would like to play with you.
What have we here? The cavalry, looks like. Appreciate the help, but I had it under control.
Tagasar Jais en Barks Prize Warperen Swase Ikbus Karadida.
Easy, Destris. This isn't some holo you're talking to. My lord.
You are indeed beautiful and intelligent.
Not as much as you are handsome and wise, my lord.
There was a lady Sith a while back, Darth Sash. Said she'd send someone to help us out. You it?
Taking down oppressive cult leaders is a favorite hobby of mine.
Good, because it makes me sick to think Palladius is out there while I'm cooped up in this rat hole.
Palladius built his empire on the backs of the poor. Said he'd save them from their miserable lives.
Said we'd make a mighty sword and strike against our enemies? It was all lies. It was all lies, but you win the support of the poor, you knock Palladius's legs out from under him.
How do I win the love of these poor downtrodden souls?
What Palladius did was find the biggest, most vicious gang on the block and crush them. Right now, the gang's the Kraits, named after the Krayt dragon on Tatooine. Their leader, Sabin, thinks he's descended from one. Take out Sabin, and the masses will see you as a regular hero.
Why should I be content to emulate Palladius?
You're right, my lord. There are cleverer ways to steal Palladius's power. A plague called the Rot afflicts the poorest of Nar Shaddaa's poor. But it can be cured, and the person who does so will be regarded not just as a hero, but as a prophet.
What exactly does this entail?
The cure to the Rot is owned by Titus Neutronics. You'll have to steal it from their warehouse, then distribute it.
In this case, I'd rather be loved than feared.
Good, but be careful. The warehouse is heavily guarded, but if you can steal the cure and distribute it in the Corellian sector, you'll own the lower classes.
Dia boboto duanawantis mo. Boyatu kapjanga.
Godoba, please. I have good news.
Do not attempt to dissimulate.
No dissimulation intended. But I wanted you to meet someone. My lord, allow me to introduce the diplomatic services allies on Nar Shaddaa, the Shadow Syndicate.
So this is who the Empire's been cavorting with.
I'll show you around the room. Godoba the Hutt, owner of the club Vertica Casino and 5 city sectors. Your ship is docked in his spaceport. Varko Ti, Chomash of the Nar Shaddaa Labor Alliance. There are no better slavers in the galaxy.
A pleasure.
And last, DXTX, primary hub of the DX Annihilator network.
Your destructive prowess is respectable. Negotiations permitted.
Together, they represent key powers. Yukabi and the Exchange could have joined them, but thanks to your strike, we needn't worry about the Exchange anymore.
Some insects keep crawling after being stomped.
You may be more right than you know. This woman has lied to you.
What?
She has blundered where many upstarts blundered before. And now, we all pay the price.
What makes Okabe so great a threat?
I'm sure they're exaggerating the situation.
He's preparing an army of Stimenhad's killers and cybernetically linked assassins.
Detonite droid production has increased.
Ah, very well. If Yukabi won't learn his lesson, then the Empire can handle his dying blows.
Quiet. You've caused plenty of trouble already.
My sources report Exchange death squads on the move. As you destroyed his assets, he'll destroy ours. The promenade, factories, slave pens.
Okabe is drawing energy for his chemical enhancement facilities. He augments soldiers for battle. He must be stopped now.
I'm not a strategist. Your recommendation, my lord?
We can't let Exchange death squads roam freely. How do we intercept them?
Exchange has a private landing pad. Intercept the death squads, destroy their ships, and maybe...
I'll alert our forces here and keep the Shadow Syndicate in line. We can discuss this when you return.
My lord, I wanted to apologize for Destris earlier. He was out of line.
No need to apologize, and no need to call me Lord.
I confess, I was worried when Destris said we were getting the help of the Sith. I thought you'd be like Palladius, self-obsessed and cruel, but no, you're kind.
I can be quite tender when I want to be.
For some reason, I believe it. Anyway, if we want to make a stab at taking over Palladius' cult, we need a real headquarters. Somewhere you can speak, hold meetings. I hope you don't mind, but I took the liberty of finding a place.
You've done well. Now tell me about this place.
The place is called the Strel House, for a charity worker named Dakin Strel. The people look to him as a leader. He's been dead nearly a decade, but his name still means something. And I thought it couldn't hurt to have his name associated with yours.
A well-known location can't hurt either.
I'd considered that as well. It's both well-known.
You have made an unforgivable mistake. You began this conflict. All our businesses suffer. Now you all die.
Okabe, I've been waiting to meet you a long time.
The attacker. You eliminated my death squads, but my facilities create supreme soldiers with every passing minute. I have killed your kind before, Sith. I will again.
It
looks bad, I know, but I've been working on a strategy.
No more games. One way or another, this must end.
Our guards captured a few of the gangsters. The exchange is based in the tunnels running under this sector. Maybe now's the time to push. Wipe them out, their leaders, along with Yukabi.
The DX Annihilator Network approves.
Perhaps. I think I speak on behalf of the Shadow Syndicate when I ask, with due respect, can this be done?
Do not underestimate the power that flows through me, Slaver.
No, certainly not.
You'll have to take out the members of Yukabi's inner circle. All of them are cybernetically enhanced.
Custom-built masterworks, equal to a dozen Mandalorian warriors.
When they're dead, proceed to Yukabi's chambers. Do whatever you have to do.
In fact, a Republic-aligned group of war veterans called the Star Dogs are preparing to strike at you.
You'd better be sure of this.
I am not prone to exaggeration. Their anti-Imperial sentiment is focused on you like a laser. Being Republic, they have a certain distaste for direct assassination jobs. But they're alarmed, and contracting with the Nar Shaddaa Exchange to have you killed.
One of these days I'm going to fake my death just to cash in.
Forgive me if I don't find that humorous. After you, the people in this building are next. I ask while you're there, to take the Exchange's dossier on their hitmen. Can you do this?
We can't waste any more time.
I agree.